What's going on, everybody? You back rocking with your boy, Sweet Science. You on the air. Subscribe to the channel. Beat the like button up. Make sure you hit your bell icon for all your post notifications because we're going to talk about it. Now, I'm sure y'all saw the title of this video. I just wanted to touch on Plant Canelo Plant, however you want to word it, what order you want to put it in. And I just want to touch on the fight and the press conference. I know I'm late as far as talking about it. I'm not late on the press conference itself. I watched it when it happened. You know, Canelo acting weird and pushing Plant and Plant slapping him. A whole bunch of shit. So, you know, first I want to start with I respect Caleb Plant 100%. 100%. He's never popped dirty. And you got to respect that. He's all hard work and dedication. And he got it out the mud, literally. Like the guy, he tells you himself, lived in trailer parks and stuff like that. Like he came from nothing. He comes from nothing. And I think that's why a lot of my community can relate to Caleb Plant. Caleb Plant's just a stand-up dude, you know what I'm saying? I got nothing but respect for him. I mean, shit. His wife is black. You know, Jordan Plant. So, shout out to Jordan Plant. But, yeah, man. And as far as Canelo, Canelo has my respect as far as his skills. Canelo has, you know, amazing skills. A lot of people feel like, including myself, that after his fight with Floyd, where he lost, Canelo got better, and he did, and that's what you should do, especially fighting a master boxer like Floyd. You watch the footage over and over and over again, and you learn from it. You know what I'm saying? You take what you can from the fight and you learn from it, and I believe Canelo did that, and I believe it has made him better. So Canelo's got my respect as far as his skills. Now, the only reason why, you know, if we rewind back to like 2015, 2016, maybe even 2017, you know, I got homeboys who will tell you, like my homie X-Man, we used to argue all the time about it. Because he used to be so mad that I would say that Canelo was my favorite fighter. Canelo's my favorite boxer. I used to always say that until he popped dirty. That kind of hurt my heart. You know what I'm saying? So like for any of the like racist fans or the idiot fans who think that you know, I'm hating on Canelo or I'm a hater of Canelo. Come on, man. Like, I'm happy with my life first and foremost. And if you a real alpha male, you not hating on nobody. Y'all probably will never. Some of y'all will probably never understand what I just said. But it's no hate. It's just my honest observation. And so, you know, you rewind to 2015, 2016, maybe even 2017. Canelo was my favorite fighter. You know what I'm saying? Until he popped dirty, and I just, for me personally, I just don't like that because it's like the Tom Brady Deflategate type of thing. It's like once you pop dirty, well, now I have to ask myself as a logical person and a real fan, because you know we have to be we have to be just as critical of our favorite fighters as fighters we don't like. You know, so as a logical thinking human being, I have to ask myself now, once you pop dirty, well, how many fights have you fought like that? How many times were you actually under the influence of something and we didn't know that? And I think that's fair. That's a fair question. People be like, oh, it was only that one time and it was the meat. It was the tacos. It was the street tacos. Everybody knows there's clenbuterol in all the meat in Mexico. Look, man, even if it is, if everybody knows that and that's a known fact, then that's all the more reason that he shouldn't have been eaten out there. that's all the more reason that he should have taken more precautions. He definitely has the resources and the money, you know, to prevent something like that. So, you know, for me, there's really no excuse how you get clenbuterol in your system. And it also doesn't look good that Oscar Valdez, who's in Canelo's camp, has popped dirty. So, you know, it's just not a good look. But be that as it may, nevertheless, with that being said, as far as Canelo's skills, you can't front on his skills, because the man has skills. You know what I'm saying? Now, he did an interview recently where he was talking about the press conference that he had with Caleb Plant. And, you know, Canelo said himself he's never been in a situation where, you know, he's in a shove match with people at a press conference and they're swinging on each other and shit like that. And he said that he hasn't had really any fight that, or really too many fights that have been this personal. You know, I know the Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. fight was a bit personal for him, because Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. was just hating on Canelo because he's not Canelo, and he wants the Mexican people to love him like Canelo, but he's a bum, Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. And his second fight with Triple G was a little bit personal because Triple G poked fun at him or campaigned about him popping dirty. So Canelo didn't like that. But my thing is, like, how you gonna pop dirty and get mad at somebody for talking about it? The fuck? Don't pop dirty. Don't pop dirty and you won't give nobody anything to talk about. So I know his second fight with Triple G was personal, but they weren't even swinging on each other at the you know, the press conference and shit. So, you know, with all that being said, at that press conference, I just feel like, you know, usually Canelo's cool, calm, and collective. He doesn't really let too much shit get under his skin. You know what I'm saying? And he was just, the way he was acting was off to me with Caleb Plant. Like, you know, you know, he called Demetrius Andrade a motherfucker. He's called a few fighters motherfucker before. And he told somebody, I don't know what fighter it was. I'm gonna have to look it up, but I know he told another fighter, chinga tu madre. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you can't have your cake and eat it too. He's saying that Caleb Plant saying you motherfuckers are gonna learn and you motherfuckers are gonna see was Caleb Plant talking about his mom. I don't know if it's a language barrier because, and I'm not trying to be racist in any way, shape, or form when I say this, but I don't know if it's a language barrier, like he doesn't understand English and he thinks mother and fucker going together is saying fuck your mother. I don't know if that's what he thinks, or if he indeed does know that that's not talking about your mom and he just decided to try to use that as an avenue to try to intimidate and scare Caleb Plant. But Caleb Plant is really like, Caleb Plant is a black dude. You know what I'm saying? Not saying it, people, I know there's the stupid ass racist fans in the comments like, oh, black people don't get scared. No, but Caleb Plant got heart. You're not about to punk him. You know what I'm saying? It ain't no punk and it ain't no bitch in Caleb Plant. So he was trying to punk Caleb Plant. He was trying to bitch him up and, you know, intimidate him, because I think Canelo's used to coming into fights with fighters, you know, respecting him and, you know, being a bit timid of him. Maybe some of them afraid of him, low key. And I think he didn't know what to do with Caleb Plant, because Caleb Plant don't give a fuck about none of that. He don't give a fuck about Canelo. He don't give a fuck about where Canelo's from. He don't give a fuck about what Canelo's done. Caleb Plant is focused on his game plan and what he's going to do. And I think it also bothers Canelo, because I know he always, you know, mentioned that he wanted to fight Andre Ward. I think it bothers and bothered Canelo that Andre Ward is actually helping Caleb Plant. And so, you know, usually the person who gets out of character, if, you know, if Canelo had a history of doing what he did at that press conference, then it would just be normal shit. But usually the person who gets out of character is out of place, and that's because they either have nervous energy or they don't feel right, or the way they should. And Canelo was just definitely out of character at that press conference, which is weird. And it's I don't know. I mean, it may not mean anything. It may mean something. You know what I'm saying? And for those of you saying that are dumb or slow, most of y'all are couch potatoes or out of shape yourselves, trying to talk about what fighters need to do and this and that. But fun fact, Caleb Plant actually did not miss that slap. If you go to his Instagram, he actually did connect. And there's actually, when you listen to like mic'd up sports, where, I mean, it could be basketball, football, boxing, where you can actually hear what's going on. When he did that, when he slapped Canelo, there's audio on from the PBC page where you could actually hear the slap. Like, he really slapped him. So Canelo thought he was just going to push that man and it was just going to be that. Then he got slapped for it. Yeah, he countered him, and when Canelo countered him, he like hit him like this. It was, I don't know, it was weird. Maybe he didn't want to actually punch him because it could have jeopardized the fight, but he hit him like this on the counter. So that was neither here nor there. But he did get slapped, and he should have got slapped. You don't fucking put your hands on no man, especially if y'all both talking shit. If you talking shit, I could talk shit. And even if you not talking shit, I could talk shit. You know what I'm saying? Don't fucking touch me. So he got slapped for it. So, I've never seen Canelo Alvarez get slapped. But, it is what it is. And there's people saying that he's going to hurt Caleb Plant. And I think this is the most emotional I've ever seen Canelo. He's like wearing his heart on his sleeve for this fight. Like, he's like very emotional for this. And I think Caleb Plant is cool, calm, and collective. So in my personal opinion, that is not a good sign. So I do think it's very possible, because Caleb Plant has the skill set for Caleb Plant to pull the upset. So, I'm definitely rooting for Caleb Plant to win this fight. I want him to win. As far as my prediction, some channels, people don't like to give their predictions because they don't want to be wrong, because I guess they feel like people will listen to them less if they get predictions wrong. Hey, man, it's the fight game. Any fucking thing could happen. You know what I'm saying? You could pick one fighter because that fighter is like a destroyer, and that fighter could get caught with some shit that takes their legs away, and next thing you know, they fucking lost. It's the fight game is, I mean, it's predictable, but it's unpredictable. You know what I'm saying? You want to look at patterns and stuff like that. So I just think that Caleb Plant is always focused. He's somebody who stays in shape year round. He has a lot to fight for. Canelo has accomplished a lot in the sport already. He's, on the top of a lot of people's pound for pound list, even though I just believe that once you pop dirty, you can't, in my opinion. The rest of y'all, if y'all want to, y'all could put him whatever y'all want. Y'all could put him as the greatest of all time if y'all want. I don't give a fuck. It don't make no difference to me. But my whole thing is that once you pop dirty, I can't really put you in that regard. So I got, currently, I got Bud as #1 pound for pound. And I also believe Gervonta Tank Davis. And even though I don't really like Jermell Charlo like that no more, because of my own personal beliefs and principles, I'll never front on his skills. So I also believe that Jermell Charlo should be on the pound for pound list as well. But that's neither here nor there. But anyway, so yeah, man, my prediction for the fight, I think the first round is going to be fireworks. I think the second round is going to be fireworks. The first 2 to 3 rounds are usually fill-out rounds. We'll probably see some more significant shots. I think we'll probably see the more significant shots from Caleb Plant in round 3. Round 4, we'll probably see more significant shots from Canelo. Round 5 is going to be a war. Round 6, one of them two is going to start to separate themselves around round 6. I think Canelo's going to pressure Plant around round 6. He's going to start to come forward, and it's going to be on Plant, how Plant responds round 6 and forward. I think he'll respond well as long as he doesn't gas. if Plant doesn't gas and he boxes and he keeps his footwork how he keeps it, I don't know, man. Like, I don't see anybody getting knocked out in this fight. Maybe a knockdown. I think if a knockdown happens, a knockdown will happen by Canelo. I think if either one of the two gets knocked down, Plant will probably get knocked down. But I got Plant in 12. I think this fight is gonna go the distance, and I think that you know, people don't know the a lot of y'all who say, oh, he got outboxed, don't know shit about boxing. Rest in peace, Roger Mayweather. So there's a difference between getting outboxed and being outworked. So I think Plant is going to outwork Canelo. And sometimes if you outwork somebody, even if they are the superior boxer, you could still win the fight. So I just think that Plant's going to outwork Canelo. Canelo doesn't really have a high punch output like that. He picks a lot of shots, and I think if he lets too much time go with Plant, you know, if he starts trying to like really press the gas around 7 and 8, it might be too late by then. You know what I'm saying? Plant has the reach, the movement, the footwork, the slickness. Canelo has the upper body movement and slickness, but Canelo doesn't really have great footwork. So I don't know, man. The only way I see Canelo winning this fight is if he gets multiple knockdowns or he knocks Plant out. I think if it goes the distance, Plant's going to win the fight. So I don't see anyone getting knocked out in this fight. I see the fight going the distance, and I got Plant for Undisputed at 168, and he's gonna change the trajectory of everything. You know what I'm saying? I think. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I don't, you know, you can come to the channel and be like, oh, you was wrong. Well, all right, well, I'm saying in this video, if I end up being wrong, hey, you know, much respect to Canelo. But I think it's going to be a 12-round decision in the favor of Caleb Plant, and he's going to be undisputed. And then hopefully after that, we get Plant Benavidez. I would like to see that. And I'll touch on that fight and their actual rivalry, because that's more, those two really do not like each other. I know y'all saw the video where they got into the fight at Caleb Plant's gym. But yeah, man, I just think Canelo's been extremely out of character for this fight, and I think that Plant is still in, you know, in his zone, and I got Plant in 12. But anyway, you rocking with Sweet Science. You on the air. Subscribe to the channel. Beat the like button up, please. Tell a friend and tell a friend, tell a friend. Subscribe to the channel, and I'm gone.